What's up everybody? In today's video, we're going to be focusing on task 5. Task 5 is an integrated speaking question. The good news for task 5 is that there is no reading passage. But the bad news is that you're only going to be given 20 seconds of official preparation time. Now, the task 5 question is always about a person's problem and 2 possible solutions. It's our objective for this question to explain which of the 2 solutions would be better for the person to overcome the problem that he or she is faced with. That is our objective. Now, since the listening is a conversation, it is not that difficult. It's not. To say the least, it's going to be easier than the lecture. So task 5, in my opinion, is the most interesting and the easiest question in the speaking section. Hopefully, within time, it becomes the easiest and most interesting question in the speaking section for you guys as well. Okay, now, before we dive into the conversation, I want you guys to look at the board and check out the note-taking diagram that I made for task 5. I want you guys to always make this note-taking diagram on your pieces of paper before the conversation for task 5 begins. This is going to make it so that your notes are neat and easy to recognize, okay? All right, so pause the video, copy the diagram, and let's hear the conversation.
Listening. Listen to a conversation and take notes. Hey, I heard you got that internship on the marine research team at that company. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Actually, it's giving me a little bit of stress at the moment.
Really? What's the problem?
Well, it's like this. The job is awesome, but the pay isn't enough. It won't even cover my tuition for the semester. I know that if I ask for more money, they'll just replace me with someone who will work for less.
Oh, that's quite a dilemma. How about going to the company to discuss your situation? They'll probably give you the extra money you need to pay your tuition.
Do you know how many people applied for the internship? It would probably be easier for them to take on someone else.
Then why don't you just get a part-time job? That way you could make up the difference and pay for your tuition.
I've thought about that, but the internship is very demanding. It's practically a full-time position. I'll barely have enough time to study for my classes. I'm not sure I can fit a part-time job into my full schedule.
Yeah, this really is a complex situation, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is a complex situation. Okay, I am done taking notes for the conversation. Let's dive into it and see what it's all about. Now, the woman had a problem because her internship is awesome, but the pay is not enough, okay? That's the problem. Now, the 2 solutions are discussing her situation with the company or getting a part-time job. Now, as soon as the conversation ended, I knew that I'm going to pick the first solution. Why? Because this guy over here, the second solution's negative aspect is so serious. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The woman won't have time to study for her classes. That's the downside of getting a part-time job. In other words, her grades are going to get worse. That's terrible. So we're going to pick the first solution. Okay, now the upside of our solution, what we have to add over here is the company might give her extra money. That's the upside. There's a possibility that the company will supplement her financially, okay? All right, the downside once again is she or the woman won't have time to study for classes. Now, the downside of our solution is it will be easier for the company to take on someone else. So company goes in here for the company to take on someone else. Yeah, okay, I'll write it down. Someone else, okay? That's the downside of our solution. Now, for this question, thanks to this guy over here, we are able to say grades are very crucial for university students. So for the ending statement for this response, we don't have to change a single thing, okay? It's very good for us. We're in the ideal situation. Okay, now that we're done organizing the notes that we got from the conversation, let's listen to my sample response. The woman is in between a rock and a hard place because her internship is awesome, but the pay is not enough. Fortunately, she can choose from two possible solutions, which are discussing her situation with the company or getting a part-time job. If I were in the woman's shoes, I would personally prefer the first solution. To start with, this solution would be much better for her issue at hand because the company might give her extra money. On the other hand, since the woman won't have enough time to study for her classes, it would be impractical to choose the other possible solution. Although it may be easier for the company to take on someone else, discussing her situation with the company would still be better because grades are very crucial for university students as they can affect their future positively or negatively. Needless to say, from where I stand, the first solution is the much better choice for these reasons. Okay, that was my sample response. Now, for task 5, you need to look at how many seconds you have left before you say the ending statement because grades are very crucial for university students. I had a little bit more than 15 seconds left, which is why I said almost everything I could, except for thank you for your time and consideration. So I would have added thank you for your time and consideration and have spoken a little bit more steadily if I had about 20 seconds left. On the other hand, if I had only about 10, 9, 8, or maybe even 7 seconds left, I would have probably stopped talking at about, because grades are very crucial for university students. So if I only had about 6 seconds left, that's where I would have stopped speaking. If I had about 8, 9 seconds left, I would have kept on going to, as they can affect their future positively or negatively. However, if you memorize the speaking template like it's the back of your hand, you'll be able to look at the clock, look at the time as you're wrapping things up. So that's a huge advantage. Okay, that just about finishes today's video. Please, if you think you missed some piece of information, some detail, rewind the video or replay the video, and make sure that you get everything down, okay? Because it's gonna be your responsibility to practice, okay? Practice saying this response until it becomes very comfortable, all right? If it becomes comfortable for you very quickly, you don't have to do it for a long time, but if it's uncomfortable for you right now, then you have to practice saying this response until it becomes comfortable, okay? That's your homework, that's your responsibility. All right, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, which is gonna be focusing on task 6. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget that succeeding is very simple. It's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple because all you need is consistency and diligence, okay? Those are the two ingredients that you need for success. It's a very simple formula, but the process is not easy. Okay, see you guys next time.